Hello and welcome to our Premier League show. This week we're going to be going over all of the football news over the weekend and sorting out the FPL and the Super 6. So first up, I'll take you a look at this is the breakdown of the next 10 games coming up for sort of the top 10 teams-ish. So each of these are the 10 games they've going up against, and I've sort of colour-coded the greens as the ones they're likely to win, the yellows are the draws, and then the red are the losers. The ones that sort of coming out on top, nothing really surprising. Liverpool's looking good. They're number 1. Chelsea number 2. Arsenal 3. Man City 4. Spurs 5. Bournemouth 6. And Crystal Palace 7th. Keep in mind, that's just like how easy the next 10 games are going to be for them. So that, don't read anything more into it. So when we're choosing players, that's sort of the order that we should sort of choose which ones to go for. So Liverpool's obviously the main one. This week's going to be pretty quick, though, because Mark Gui, or however you say his name, on my bench has transferred. So it's a question of who to bring in. Because Chelsea are ranked so high, what are they, number 2? Yeah, number 2. We don't really want to... What we could do is we could replace either Cucurella, Palmer, or João Pedro. But they're all sort of the best Chelsea players. We want to sort of keep the best Chelsea players. So I think what makes more sense is to get rid of Mark Gui and just go for another cheap striker, which means that this week's a bit boring, but that's what we're doing, unfortunately. And it's probably gonna be quite a quick one. So yeah, I did look at so I've actually got quite a lot of budget saved up, so I've got like 9, so we put it on 9.1. If you look at the top strikers, Ekitike was a massive shout, getting him in. That could have opened up some options, but I don't know how he's going to play compared to Isaac, whether Isaac's going to get more game time. That's what I was worried about, so I was sort of hesitant going for him. Gyökeres, Arsenal's more of a defensive team than an attacking team, so I didn't know. Plus, he got a good goal from Eze running behind, but I don't think he's going to score many of them against the top teams. I think he might struggle. I don't see him as a massive goal threat, so I'm probably not going to go for him. Plus, if I'm going to go for Arsenal players, I kind of want to save them for the defenders. Plus, I've already got 2. Yeah. If I get another Arsenal... if I'm going to get Arsenal players in, I might get rid of Rice and get just 2 Arsenal defenders, because they do tend to keep clean sheets. Richarlison, 20 points, great. But he's got 20 points because he got a load of points versus Burnley the first game. Since then, he's not got done much. So, yeah. So, I think he's sort of fallen out of favour. I think Tells... He started the last game, and I think they brought in what's his face from PSG. So I'm not sure whether he's going to get played or not. So I'm not really keen on him. And then the rest: Wood, Everlinson, Isidore, Thiago Bowen, all the rest of them. They're good, but they're not one of the better teams, and I don't. It's a lot of money to spend on them. So I think the best choice is to just go for a dirt cheap one, which is what I've decided to do. So I've looked at is it worth getting like a 5, a 5.5? I just don't think it is. I don't think they'll get enough. They sort of justify it. So we're just looking at the 4.5s, and there's only really one name on there, which is this Bournemouth guy who's got a few points. Doesn't look too bad. Might retain his value, which is all we can hope for. It's a bit of a boring decision, that, but I think it is the right one. I mean, it just keeps us lots of budget so that later on we can start getting better players in. Yeah, I'm only having to do this because, like I said, it's with Mark Gui moving. There's just too many Chelsea players, so it's a bit boring. But there we go. Yeah, so there's me confirming that. The league's doing pretty good. We'll have a quick look at the league table. Where's the leagues? So here's Todd's league. So at the top of it, it was Christian, but he's been knocked off the top perch. This guy I had a look at had a mad week. He did use the bench boost. And he got well because Vicario and Caicedo did very well. It's been a pretty good week for him. He didn't have anything below a 3, which is pretty mad. And Reinders and Gakpo were the 3s. Apart from that, and Chalobah. So that's a pretty solid team. He hasn't got Salah though. He does have Isaac. So we'll have to see how that goes. He's gone for big names, but he's not gone for Palmer, and he's not gone for Salah. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Obviously, he has got such a jump because of the bunch boost, but still, even not taking that into account, he's still done very well. All right, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much that done. Not much to talk about. FPL wise, like I said, a bit of a slow week. So the only thing to really do is do Super Six, and then we're done. So the first one, feel free to shout out in the chat who you reckon we should go for. Brighton versus Spurs. As crap as Spurs, I think Spurs have the propensity to lose, but they've been doing quite well recently. I think they've been keeping clean sheets, so I think I'm going to stick with a 0. Brighton's not been looking great. I think it might be a 3, you know. And then next up is United Chelsea. I think United might end up getting 1 because Chelsea just they don't look good. They don't look good. It's disappointing. But no, sorry. What am I talking about? I think United will score 1 because Sanchez is not a great goalkeeper, and the centre backs aren't that great either. I have a lot of Chelsea friends, and one of them said not too long ago, which stuck with me, is like with Sanchez, he does have a mistake in him. He always has one mistake in him. But of course, Chelsea side, they're going to score a few. I feel like hopefully Palmer will be back and he'll be starting, and they'll be back to full form, and yeah, I do feel that's about right. I mean, they didn't manage to score against City, but I feel like at the back, City is more sort of defensively set up than Chelsea is. It was a bit weird, the Chelsea team. They didn't have the fullbacks, didn't have James or Chalobah starting. As soon as I had Palmer and Cucurella in my FPL, neither of the fullbacks were starting. As soon as they bring Palmer and Cucurella on, they end up scoring and the tying it. Anyway, Fulham Brentford. I think that is a Fulham win. I'm gonna say the Brentford score, maybe 2-1, something like that. Sunderland Villa. Usually I'd give that Villa easily, but they've just not been scoring. And Sunderland actually have been scoring. I might give it to Sunderland. I know that's pretty mad to give it to Sunderland, but I just feel like they have. Sunderland have been getting goals, haven't they? And Villa just can't get cooking. But then again, I do think it's Sunderland. You know why? I just don't think Villa can score at the minute. But if I end up getting that wrong, though, that's going to make me look like a proper idiot. But I am leaning that way. Is it home or away? That's always a big thing. So any way to find out? Carragher's giving it 1-1. See, more people are going. Usually, I'd give that. Well, it makes sense to put that as a draw, but I'm not like a draw kind of guy. I like to give it one way or the other. I might just play it safe and give it to Villa. Even though they've not been in great form, I think they might just grab it. Yeah, that might end up backfiring me, but I'm gonna stick with that. Bournemouth, Newcastle. Newcastle have lost Isaac. They've looked okay. Their new striker's doing well, but Bournemouth do look really good. I might give it Bournemouth. You know, I just like the look of Bournemouth at the minute, and Newcastle aren't the same without Isaac. Arsenal City. I think Arsenal will keep the 0. I think they'll keep the 0. Maybe like one of them. Is that mad? I don't think they'll score 2. I think maybe 1-0. Might just nick it. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going with, and then I'll go for 6 minutes. Yeah, that some of them might end up backfiring on me. They're a bit of there's a few risky ones. Usually they're quite down to earth, the ones, but these ones there's a bit of a could go either way in that. That's what I'm going with. So yeah, the code for the FPL is at the bottom of the screen. If you haven't already, join up, and I'll see you next week for our FPL show. Sorry it's been so boring, but you know, Mark A or Mark Gooey or whatever his name is. What can I do? I did my best. See ya.